saw her, he had compassion on her. And he said unto her, two words that sealed her heart, Brother Jimmy. He said to her, look at her, Brother Jesus, weep not. Weep not. And he came. That's what we do. We put the casket right there, don't we, when we have service. And the Bible said Jesus came and touched it. And they that bare him stood still. And he said, young man, I say unto thee, arise. And he that was dead sat up and began to speak. And he delivered him. Here, son, get out of that box. The Bible said, and Jesus delivered him to his mother. Can you imagine? Can you imagine going to a funeral? And that would happen? I'm telling you what rejoicing there would be, wouldn't there? What shouting there would be, what a revival there would be, what praising and giving God glory there would be, wouldn't there?
Amen.
Just simply, he didn't say, the Bible doesn't say he said anything else to her, just weep not. You could stop your weeping now. Something's fixing to happen. Amen. You know, the Bible said that Jesus said, young man. You know, don't ever think because you're young that it can't happen to you.
Amen.
Hey, here's a little note for you. Young people die just like old people die.
Amen.
It pays to be right with the Lord no matter what age you are, doesn't it?
Amen.
Because none of us here have the promise of tomorrow. None of us. We're all one heartbeat away from eternity, every one of us. Young man, you know, Jerome, now I know to teenagers it don't seem young, but Jerome was a young man, 63 years old. 63 years old. That's a young man. All right. It matters. It matters. And I just look back at my life, and you look back at your life, and ask yourself, and I ask myself, what kind of a friend am I to Jesus? You know, there's a lot of people that they're fair weather friends, they're temporary friends. Some people will come to church once a year, maybe, and they do it for Easter or for Christmas. And I ask myself, what kind of friend is that? What kind of friend is that to Jesus? Don't you? I mean, don't you just wonder, people that do that? It's like, what good are you getting out of that? That's what I wonder to myself. What good are you getting out of that? If you're only if that's what's in your heart is that you don't care about the Lord any other day of the year, you don't care about serving the Lord all through the week or all through the month, month after month, day after day. Why do you even come?
Amen.
If you're only going to come, if that's all you're going to get, if that's all you want, that's really what it comes down to, what you want. If that's all you want, why do you come? I'm glad they do.
Yes.
Because maybe they'll hear something that'll stir their heart.
Amen.
But Brother Dole, I still wonder, what about the other 364 days of the year? Don't you? It makes you scratch your head, doesn't me? It's like, I don't understand. I had some uncles like that. They would cuss and run around all year long. And then on Christmas or Easter, they'd go to church. And wasting your time. That's what I thought, Sister Ruth. You're wasting your time. You know, I always come back to the verse that, be not deceived. God is not mocked.
Amen.
For whatsoever a man soweth, that's what he's going to receive. Amen.
Amen.
People have a big misconception of the Lord, brother. I don't know if they think they can just pull the wool over God's eyes. And maybe they think if I just come to church, maybe that'll placate God for a while. That'll satisfy Him. You know, Lord, I'll be back. Lord, I'll be back next Christmas. You know, we all know here, that's not love.
Yeah.
That's not love, Brother Jimmy. That's not being a loyal friend. That's not being a friend of Jesus. When the world turns their back on Him, brother, I want to be one standing there with you, don't you?
Amen.
I like that song. They sing part of it. The world behind me, the cross before me. No turning back, no turning back. No turning back. I have decided to follow Jesus. I have decided. You know, nobody can follow Jesus unless you decide to.
Amen.
Right? You don't just walk along and all of a sudden you're following the Lord. You got to decide to do it. You got to have a made up mind to follow Jesus. Because where Jesus leads, sometimes the road gets rough, don't it?
Amen.
I mean, where He leads, He don't just lead an easy road to life all the way to heaven. Sometimes it's hard, it's treacherous, sometimes it's dangerous. Sometimes, Brother Jimmy, sometimes Christians have even had to give up their lives for following Jesus.
Amen. Amen.
Amen. I'm glad I can say that Jesus is my friend. He's my friend. And I want Jesus to say this about me, Brother Jimmy, that Paul's my friend, Jimmy's my friend, Glenn's my friend. Amen. Oh, to be a friend of Jesus. Amen. There ain't nothing better in life than to be called a friend of Jesus.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. And you know how you become a friend of Jesus? You know, I'm sure probably all of us are saved here, but we all know, don't we? All you got to do is bow before the Master. Bow down. What do you got to bow? Because it's an humbling. It's an humbling position. That's what bowing is. You got to humble yourself. And all you got to do is look up and say, Lord, hold on, a sinner. Hey, guess what? Guess what? All of us in here was just like that, weren't we? When we came to the Lord, all of us were great sinners. Great sinners.
Amen.
I'm just a little sinner. No, you're a great sinner.
Amen.
Yeah. But when the Lord said, it don't matter if you're big or little. When I wash you with my blood, all will be forgiven, Brother Jimmy. Amen. When I wash you with my blood, He said, oh, that old man's going to be crucified. He said, take off the old man, put on the new man.
Yeah.
Amen. Put it on, He said. Amen. Boy, I tell you, when I was a kid, sometimes, if money was right, Mom would take me to maybe Montgomery Ward's or somewhere, I can't remember. And if it was Easter time, she'd buy me a little suit, Sister Ruth. And I tell you, I was so happy and proud. I remember one time after Mama bought me a suit, Sister Reba, that I went outside playing, how kids do, playing tag or something outside, and I fell down and put a hole. My brand new pair of Sunday pants. And I was like, Mom, I got a hole in my pants. Can I get another pair? No, you got to wear what you got on.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So I had to wear them old pants with a hole in it. But I'm just saying, still, to get a brand new pair of clothes was such an exciting thing.
Yeah.
Such an exciting thing. But I'll tell you, compared to the new clothes that the Lord put on me, when I was lost and in sin, the Lord washed me and cleaned me up and said, here, put on these new clothes.
Yeah.
Brother, I tell you what I became? A brand new person.
Amen.
Brand new person. The Lord's coming back. Here's who He's coming back for. He's coming back for His friends.
Amen.
Yeah.
That's who the Lord's coming for.
Amen.
There won't be anyone in the group that's not a friend of Jesus when He takes you away. All of the pretenders, Sister Ruth, all of the pretenders will be here left. All of the fair weather friends will be left. But those that are loyal, a friend loveth at all times. Those. You know, every one of us in here, everyone has had trials and bad things happen to our life. And you know, there's some people that when they go through trials and tribulations, they turn their back on the Lord. And isn't that the craziest thing? That when you go through something hard, people turn their back on the Lord, turning their back on the only one that can help them.
Yeah.
When they need it the most, Brother Jimmy. But church, I'm telling you, He's coming back. And the only one He's going to take with Him is His friends. And I'm going to be a friend, aren't you? Amen. Amen. Does anyone need prayer before we close this morning?